episode of Dolce Vita, let's take Harry crab tasting to new gastronomic heights. Chat with young artist Mizuki Nishiyama and appreciate her raw and vivid paintings. Up your home cooking game with the help of a professional chef. And explore Turkish culture through their arts and crafts.
Joyce, there's so many varieties of seafood out there. Which one is your favorite?
I love crab. They're not only delicious, but they're also full of protein, omega-3, and vitamin B2.
I didn't know that crabs are so nutritious. Actually, I really like crab too, but there's so much effort in taking care of the crab, like handling it, cooking it, and removing the shell. By the time I'm done, I'm so tired I can't even enjoy it.
Well, didn't you know that there are dishes right now where you don't actually have to handle the crab, there are no shells whatsoever. All you have to do is just savor the delicious taste of the crab.
Sounds amazing.
Is the humble egg the most versatile ingredient in existence? I would say so. Here, the smoked half-boiled egg is paired with crab oil and French caviar. Making the simple exquisite is this easy. Wonton soup is a standard of Chinese cuisine. But if you're bored with the usual recipe, then this wonton soup made with crab and fish is going to give you a tasty surprise.
Joyce, I'm a really big fan of eggs in general because it's so versatile, but you can also cook it with other dishes like, scramble it, fry it, boil it, etc. But this time with the addition of caviar and the really, really aromatic crab roe, it really takes this dish to a whole new level.
Well, this is not your typical wonton. It's stuffed with crab roe and fish. Together with the broth made with fish and shrimp head paste, it makes the whole dish full of umami flavor.
Sounds really good.
Are you wondering what the best way to enjoy a hairy crab dish is? Observing the golden ratio is the answer. With a precise proportion of crab meat, crab roe, and crab oil, you will get that perfect heavenly umami taste. The noodle dish here is best to showcase the importance of the golden ratio. The crab roe sauce is made with 12 seasonal crabs, with an equivalent amount of crab meat and crab oil, and the crab roe ratio of 42 to 58. Before eating, stir in all the ingredients and mix the noodles with a creamy chicken crab broth and aromatic soy sauce. There's satisfaction in every bite of this noodle dish. Presentation plays a huge part in creating that wow factor. Stuffed with crab roe and topped with French caviar, once you slice open the whole South African fish maw, it's a volcanic eruption of warm and savory crab roe sauce. The crab roe sauce is another example of the hairy crab golden ratio, made up of 50% of male roe, 30% female roe, and 20% crab meat. It's a mouth-watering dish that you just can't wait to dig in.
Joyce, I personally really like that mixed noodles dish because it's a dish we commonly see in Japanese cuisine where you dip it every time into the broth as you please. However, I feel like when we mixed ingredients together, it was really satisfyingly creamy and rich, but it wasn't oily and it tasted really good. How about you?
Well, I love fish maw, especially because it's high in collagen. It means that it's perfect for us ladies. Along with the lava-flowing crab roe mixed with the noodles, it's just super decadent.
Let's have some more.
In traditional Chinese medicine, crabs are said to have a cooling effect, so they are always served with warming foods such as ginger. If ginger tea is too ordinary for you, why not sip on this delectable ginger cocktail? The drink not only makes a great complement to the crabs, but it's also refreshing and filled with delicious fruity flavors.
Not a fan of the intense, spicy taste of ginger, but want to enjoy the warmth that ginger has to offer? Worry not, because the mixologist has created a ginger-flavored apple cider vinegar soda. The sweetness of apple balances the spiciness of the ginger, and the two flavors are surprisingly matched.
Savoring a dessert that pairs the ultra-nourishing bird's nest with house-made ginger gelato and ginger jelly is definitely a great way to end this crab feast on a high note. Some say cooking is a kind of science. After tasting a succulent meal that manifests the result of cooking, the precise proportion of different ingredients, it's safe to say enjoying great food is the most scientific way to nourish our bodies and souls.
What I love about art is that it's an extension of oneself. Not only is it just, a skill set, but over time it becomes a part of a person, in order to make sense of their world, make sense of their identity, their emotions, responding to different elements, issues of the world. Hi, I'm Mizuki Nishiyama, and welcome to my studio. I think it's quite difficult to just use a couple words to describe one's work, but I think overall I really like to use words like evocative, passionate, because what I'm trying to create is something that's very authentic. I think as an artist, it's really important for your glass to be full. And when you can't make sense of who you are or where you are, why you're there, you're getting drained bit by bit. My works strive to explore those thin veneers between these multiculturalisms that, add up. I'm dicing and slicing all these different hundreds of years of history to adjust to who I feel like I am. But that's exactly what a third culture kid does.
So Mizuki, what kind of message do you want to present to your audiences through your art?
I guess that the overarching theme has always been human fragility, vulnerability, but there's been a lot of thin layers within each other, like intimacy, love and lust, and especially during the pandemic, my identity as an Asian woman has been heightened more than ever, and I've been more aware of these socio-political issues that the stigmas around East Asians, what my experience has been like for a mixed Japanese woman, and I say mixed Japanese because I think it's very important for me to always point out that, there is different facets to my identity that is not just encompassed by, one country, one heritage, and, that's kind of the idea of it too. There's so many different layers and multiculturalism within the ideas that explore. So at the end of the day, it's just kind of like a mishmash of ideas, emotions, but a lot of it has to do with the fundamental fact that we are all very fragile beings.
So can you tell me about something recent you're working on?
Well, recently I've been working on a lot more abstracted works, and it's been kind of a challenge for me. Okay. I've had comments where, your works have changed so drastically, and that's something I deal with. I have a lot of anxiety about that. Whether it's artist block or just I'm really not happy with what I'm making because there's a lot of pressure in terms of what an artist makes, especially in consistency. A lot of pop artists nowadays have one iconic, whether it's motif or symbol or something that they can work and build on, and obviously that's so important for an artist to grab something, to grab something that can be easily identified. But I realize that it's more of my attack on the canvas that makes it very personal to my artistry. And I don't want it to be defined by what exactly I make. I paint, the composition-wise. So, you know, these abstracted paintings I'm creating right now, I think it encompasses all the aspects that I was talking about. And I think that's reflective of all the works that I've been doing in the past through portraits.
Wow. See, a lot of people think that art is just, you know, paint on a canvas, but you have proved otherwise. Like, thank you so much for sharing your experience and your art with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
After the break, let's explore delicious ways to have fun at home. And learn everything about traditional arts and crafts in Turkey.
As a proud homebody, I'm not averse to doing a little cooking myself. However, my cooking skills are rather limited. Therefore, I've come here today to get some help from a professional chef so that I can enjoy some fine dining at home.
Meet Chef James. With over 30 years of cooking experience, he excels in creating and designing exquisite but simple dishes, and home cooks can try his recipes for an elegant dining experience at home. Soup is a must-have item on either Chinese or Western menus, but garlic soup isn't something that you usually see on any menu. In Lautrec, France, pink garlic is known for its subtle and sweet taste, making it an excellent soup-making ingredient. James said there are two major tips that every home chef has to bear in mind to make the best pink garlic soup. First, you have to remove the green germ from every garlic clove, as a green sprout can bring an unpleasant and somewhat bitter flavor to your soup. The second tip is, never start with the garlic in hot oil. Always cook your garlic and oil in a cold pan. That way, the garlic won't get burnt easily. Pink garlic soup is a traditional recipe from the Lautrec region. By tasting this aromatic soup at home, you can almost imagine yourself traveling around the south of France.
When I was making the soup, the chef taught me to use a silicone spatula to mix the butter and the flour together so that I can control it easier and I can prevent the ingredients from getting burnt in the saucepan. Which makes me realize, apart from having fresh ingredients and cooking skills, having the right kitchenware is also really important.
To have the best cooking experience, using the right kitchen utensils is as essential as sourcing fresh ingredients. When it comes to choosing the right cookware, practicality and safety should always come first. For example, a chopping board should be sturdy and appropriately sized for different needs. For example, they can have steel spikes added on to keep the food in place while you carve. Choosing the right cooking equipment for preparing different kinds of food is also essential. For example, an ideal pan for sautéing has to be sensitive to temperature changes, whereas the best pot for braising will hold and regulate heat despite temperature changes. Useful kitchen utensils not only improve your efficiency, but they also amp up the fun of cooking. Everyone loves lobster, and lobster thermidor is a dish that delights your taste buds like no other. Presented in the lobster shell, every bite is so creamy and tasty. If you find that cooking a 3 or 4 course meal is too time-consuming, many easy meal recipes can satisfy your fine dining cravings, like the Saint Marcellin cheese here. Just lightly warmed in the oven, it's so yummy that you'll keep wanting more. A perfect meal shouldn't end without desserts. As the most representative French dessert, the colorful macaron will complete your home dining experience.
This dish is perfect for when you just want something simple and delicious to have at home. The bread is crunchy, the cheese is soft and creamy, and it's best to have it in a hurry while it is still hot. Because nowadays, let's face it, most of us are staying at home a lot more and eating out a lot less. So the next time you want to order that takeaway, why don't you try your hand at some of these dishes? You won't regret it.
When we talk about Turkey, what springs into your mind? Istanbul, the Blue Mosque, or the magical hot air balloons in Cappadocia? Turkey is a large peninsula that bridges Europe and Asia's continents, making it the real melting point of culture. Its history and beauty are just overwhelming.
So to live in harmony and peace, we need to know each other well. So we came up with an idea to promote different cultural settings in Hong Kong. Of course, as I'm Turkish myself, we start promoting Turkish culture first. But besides Turkish culture, we have been promoting Central Asian or so Western Asian cultures as well. Turkey is the cradle of civilizations. Many civilizations have lived in Turkey for a long time. So every civilization have left something, have added value to the culture of Turkish art. So we have a very unique and very rich art, I can say. Mosaic art, one of the oldest art forms in the world. It has a history of 4,000 years. It has started in Mesopotamia, then it moved to Egypt, then it moved to Turkey, where the first time it used as a lightning item. Before that, it was using as a picture making, let's say, as a decoration item.
When I traveled to Turkey, what attracted me the most was the handicrafts. All the colors were so bright and the patterns were so beautiful and unique. What I liked the most was definitely the Turkish lamp. I originally wanted to take one back to Hong Kong, but I was scared that it wouldn't survive the flight. But you know what? You can actually make one in Hong Kong right now. Mosaic lamps are one of the most traditional products in Turkey. Could you tell us the design inspiration?
Yeah, actually mosaic means in Turkish is diversity. When all those different shapes and colors come together, they combine something beautiful, as diverse. So actually most of the designs are coming from the astrology and Islamic art. They're highly inspired from the history as well. Most of the designs that we use, you will see in the paper as well, is inspired from the square and triangle. When we look at the square, it represents, let's say, north, south, west, and east. When we look at the triangle, it represents past, today, and future. So it's every time. Let's say they all represent infinity. The infinity reminds us the God.
So could you tell us more about the design?
We especially have cone and ornamental designs. Let's say most of them have the sharp corners. Let's say we have a shape with 6 corners that explain the God creates the world in 6 days, let's say. We have a flower shape that reminds you the world and happy living. In the smaller shapes, let's say in the ornamental ones, we have also stars. We have diamond shapes that you can fit in.
So can you briefly explain how we make a mosaic lamp?
You can just look at the different designs that we offer you, the traditional patterns, or you can come up with your own design as well. Because as I told you, when they come together, they form something unique and beautiful. So you will make your designs on paper first, on these trays, and then you will transfer them on the glasses, one by one, to create your own artwork.
So everyone has their own unique piece.
That's right, actually each and every art piece is different, so it brings some amazing designs to the world.
So why do you think each and every one of us should own a mosaic lamp?
Actually, I can tell it brings you happiness and self-confidence. Because like when you come here, daily life of the problems behind. You are spending, like, as I told you, 2.5 hours, and you don't really feel how the time passed. You're spending a great time here, and after you bring it home, let's say your lamp, once that enlightens your room, it makes it warm and calm.
So could you tell us more about other unique and traditional art products from Turkey?
We have evil eyes. In Turkish culture, people believe that it's protecting you the bad energy of others. It's basically taking all the jealousy to itself. Yeah, actually there are also Turkish bowls and plates. They're all handmade from Turkey. I can tell each and every plate and bowls are different from each other because they have done from different people.
And it's handcrafted.
It is all handcrafted. It's not, they are not following any drawing or something. They make your wall beautiful, even colorful. They make it much more livable, much more like nice for you to see and spend time at your own home.
Traveling is not just about shopping and gulping down local food. My trip to Turkey sparked my interest in the arts and crafts, allowed me to learn more about the culture, and I even made some new friends. Though we can't travel as often as we used to, we can learn about foreign cultures right here in Hong Kong. So why not take a look around and see what we have to offer?
That's all the time we have for this week's episode. If you want to find out more about what we have introduced, remember to log on to our website. In the coming weeks, let's explore the path to a sweeter life. Join us to savor seasonal delights from around the globe. Check out ways to stay healthy and look gorgeous. Keep up with the latest trends in every aspect of life. And connect with inspiring people from different backgrounds. Be sure to tune in again next time to live your best life.